We're live. We're live. Bubba live.
Wow, look how we got a nice intro. So look at that. Nice.
So shenanigans.
And we got Becky back. So you don't have to listen to me ramble on.
We'll still listen to you ramble on, I'm sure.
Ramble on. Isn't that a Led Zeppelin song?
I'll do one of these. It's my turn to ramble.
Go ahead. Take it away.
No. Woo.
Yay. So anyway, thank you all for joining us again for another episode of Sewing Shenanigans with Becky and Brett. I bet everybody forgot that we're doing it on Thursday night.
No.
No, I'm hoping not.
Better not.
Did you send out an email? We have
She
like an
did.
email. Okay.
And she actually had me.
You didn't read your email?
I saw it come through.
She actually had me smiling this time instead of looking. No, you don't.
It's Eddie that comes up with the fantastic pictures.
Yeah, me looking like a doofus.
Exactly. I make you smile.
Okay, all right.
You bring a smile to everybody's face, Danny.
Hey, what camera are we on anyway?
we're on
Because
that
I
one.
always look
That's what this
stupid. Okay,
Yep.
all right.
So,
Oh.
yeah. So, thank you all for joining us. Oh, and look, Becky's with us too. The Mumsies, Ferland is with us. Yay! And
I
Carolyn.
call her Ma Becky.
Ma!
Ma Becky.
And
Hi,
Carolyn.
Carolyn.
Nice. So some people did remember that we're on Thursday nights. This is going to be the new thing. We're doing Thursday nights because you were moving to prime time. Is it
Is
Thursday?
that?
I don't know. It
I
just
don't
sounds
know
good.
either.
But
Okay.
it
We
just
get a
works
lot
out good.
we get a lot
Yeah, so
going on.
let me just get right into shop news. I have on my shop news thing all the classes, but I'm just going to keep it simple and go to our website and check out the calendar. The only I could go read through them, but if you go to our account,
Except I'm really going to talk about paper piecing
Yes.
tonight because I want to shout out about that class because I've been working hard on it.
okay.
Should I do it now then?
No, if you want, or
All right.
I was-
Yeah, I
okay.
say now.
Okay, take it away. Because we'll be doing paper.
I wanted-
just a quick heads up. This Saturday, Bonnie's doing her fabric and color selection, and that's a freebie at 11. Check out our site. I want to say it's 11 and 1, and I'm going to be in trouble for forgetting this. I should have wrote it down.
So prepared.
And she does a fantastic job, and that'll be this Saturday. And like I said, check out the website for the other classes. Becky's going to talk about her paper piecing that we got coming up.
I am. It's coming up on September 11th and September 21st. And I just...
It's two different. It's two different sessions. It's not
Two
one.
different
It's not two class. It's not going to be
No.
one class. It's two times.
Right.
It's two. Yes.
But why I'm excited about it is it's not, he put this lame picture up on the website. I went, no, I'm not making farmhouses. That's not even,
farmhouses.
not even close to
There's
what
an
we're
R in
doing.
farm.
Yes, there is an R in farm. Actually, where'd you go to
A
school?
farmhouse.
What the class is going to give you, it's an amazing value, and I guarantee you it will be fun. And you just, even though you think you know everything you know about paper piecing, you might just learn something new, or you might teach me something new. So that would be fun too. But here's what's going to happen. You're going to get this book. Brent, did you get these books yet?
Yeah.
They've been ordered. Did they come in?
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect, because if you want to make the whole project, you want to come in, pay for your class, and pick up your book early. Because I'm going to tell you, we're going to show you different techniques, but I'm going to point out the pattern we're using to do the techniques.
Yes, the book is included with the class. So when you pay for the class.
So pay for the class, you can get your book early.
Yep.
Now, and I don't look at my notes. We're going to talk about that in class. But this is the quilt that we will be making called Synergy. That's a good name.
Oh, Synergy irritates me.
And
because Synergy Financial keeps calling me.
it has a
Irritates me.
total of 36 blocks, and what's amazing is the secondary. Oh my gosh!
Sorry.
I think I like the baby bears better. Oh my gosh! I saw a live bear on one of our trails.
Nice.
A live bear. A live bear.
Was he big?
He was a toddler, but he was a bear,
I always
and he
worry.
was in the wilderness.
I always worry when I see baby bears because if mama bear's around, it gets
I'm
ugly.
like, whoa, is that what I think it is? Doop, 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 doop. He
Maybe it
didn't-
was a baby Sasquatch.
No, it was, no. You were at home.
I saw Baby Sasquatch.
You were at home, you weren't even there. You weren't even in that town. Daddy's Sasquatch. Okay, anyway, so I'm using, no, let me get this
I have
done.
my back shaved. Nobody will recognize me
There
as
are
Sasquatch
five,
anymore.
why I'm having you buy this book, there are 5 different quilt patterns in this book. When you're done with the class, you can do any of them, I promise you. And they're very inquisitive ones. This one I picked because it's got a nice secondary pattern in it, and I'm a fan of secondary patterns. And I actually have 2 samples I'm working on that hopefully I'll get into the shop before too long. So you can see I did one in batiks and one in a novelty print, and they both look totally different. So it's really cool. But what it has is your fabric requirements. Now, if you don't want to make the whole project, you want to just come in and have fun, come in with like 7 fat quarters, because there's 7 different fabrics in here, believe it or not. If you just want to have fun, that's all you have to bring. I and Brent, or Brent and I, will be supplying all the other supplies required, which includes, we're going to do 4 different methods of paper piecing. You will love paper piecing when I'm done. You'll either like one method or another. We're going to be using,
Or hate them all.
no, you won't hate them all. You won't, I guarantee you.
Okay.
I'm going to use this product by Quilter Select, which is a leave-in product, no tear-out product. Washes out, turns fibery with your batting. Did you order that?
It's been ordered. Did we get it yet? No. Okay.
Okay, well, I have extra. I'm going to show you how to use vellum. Yes, one of my favorites. Regular old vellum paper. There's a neat trick to this. I'm telling you, don't look at me strange. This is so cool. Yeah,
Isn't Vellum
come
with
to
like
class.
magic spells on, like in the movies? Like,
Come
I
to
have a
class.
Vellum scroll.
And then I'm going to show freezer paper, okay,
What is wrong with
which
you?
I love as well.
We have the freezer paper, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, good. And then I'm going to show what most people are aware of, which is the newsprint paper. We'll do that method. You're going to learn different glues. Yes, we're going to be using some glues.
Your glue?
Different glues. I'm going to show you why
Different
one
glues.
glue is better than another glue depending on the stage you're at of your paper piecing.
This
So
is getting
this-
complicated.
You will walk away with some technique that you really like. And when you see how perfect, and I'm talking perfect. In fact, maybe I'll just bring my quilt stuff all cut up and make them all make my quilt top for me. Because they'll come out beautiful. And you're like, okay, yeah, why did I resist this? No, it's very methodical, relaxing. And I'm going to show you different ways to cut it out.
Okay.
I am.
Like I said, it's starting to sound like work, but okay.
Well, it is a class. They got to get their money's worth.
Okay.
So if you want to make the whole
So we're gonna.
Synergy project, come in, pay for the class. You can get your book early, and your fabric requirements are in the book. And you can cut it their way and come to class all cut, ready to roll.
Nice.
Or just come with some scraps, and we're going to have fun doing techniques. There.
Okay. So that's paper
Good.
piecing.
It's going to be fun.
Like I said, there's a lot of other stuff on the calendar. Go check our calendar out at 4pinesquilting.com. The only thing that's not on there that I'm just going to plug real quick is we have a bag class coming up on October 30th. We'll be getting details out on that because we're going to be filling in the October calendar here probably next week. But one of the gals that comes through, Lynn, not this Lynn here, but the other Lynn, she's got a bag that she's gonna teach us how to make. It's really fun. Brenda actually talked her into it because I think Brenda wants to make the bag. But Lynn is fantastic. Yeah, I love Lynn, so it'll be fun to get her in here to do the class. The only other bit of shop news I have is that if you're looking to buy a sewing machine, buy it now. Price increase is happening on September 13th. We all know that inflation is out of control, and that's going to be reflected in the sewing machines come September.
I have to say something.
Uh-oh.
When,
We're all like, what?
we got to cover these product updates on Brother, because you blew right by something I think is so cool.
Okay, let me know. What did I?
So cool.
Okay.
All you Luminaire people out there, and I know there's a gaggle of you, there is now an app. You know how I always say, oh, from a Brilliance, you can wirelessly send stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, no, now there is a app by Brother
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
don't act like
It's
yeah.
called Stitch.
No, that monitors your machine. This is a brand new.
They actually have an app that's useful now?
That wirelessly
Yeah,
sends,
yeah.
like you're on your computer, you install it on your computer, and wirelessly sends your files to your Luminaire.
All right.
Without PE Design 11. Used to have to get into PE
Oh, yeah, I
Design
know.
11 to do that. Not anymore.
Okay, we'll have to look into that.
Wow.
Yeah, and you didn't even tell anybody.
Because I wasn't aware of it.
Okay, and here's another thing, Mr. Brent.
See,
Wait,
this,
wait, how did you figure it out? You use.
I spent hours watching this stuff.
Yeah, but you using brilliant.
Yeah, but I'm always, you know me, Danny, I'm like thousands of hours of keeping track of things.
With 3 days worth of.
I just go nuts keeping track of this. And that's the other thing we got to talk about, the brother scanning.
yes, I have to actually.
This one's for you, Danny.
I'm mad about that, but go ahead.
Don't be mad about it. If you're not going to bring one in, I'm going to go get one.
Well, no, I've
so
got
I
one
can
ordered.
find out if it's worth it or not.
I got one on order, I think. I have to double check.
Don't
I know.
be saying I think. Let me
Well,
tell you why.
I've got a million things on order from brother. And I got to make sure.
Let me
that
tell you
the-
why, people. First of all, the new rotary cutter, which I personally have not used yet because
I
you
know,
don't
'cause-
have it,
Yeah.
works on the older DX machines. So you don't need to go out and buy a brand new scanning
That
cut
was one of the
in
questions.
order to use. Look at the people saying negative words in the room tonight.
Oh no, I will be so happy if that's.
And they are showing it without bonding on your fabric. They're
Right.
They're doing crepe paper, lace, organza, tissue paper. You got to get the new fabric mat, but your DX machine,
Okay.
the rotary blade works with it.
But it's the DX, so it's like
Yeah.
the newest one.
So
Well,
here's
no,
my other.
not the newest
Since we're
one.
talking about this, you
Not
know all
the-
this information. I'm still waiting to hear back on
Not the brand new one, the other model.
the 225.
I got like a 6.
Does it have DX on it?
65.
Does it have the DX
Yeah,
on it?
No, hers is one generation behind. I don't
Okay,
think.
then you got to get it.
You
at
need
least
the one.
again.
With, you probably need the
But-
one with the pressure, auto pressure on it. As I'm suspecting.
Probably.
Doesn't use a ratchet. You know what? It looks like a swivel chair.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the previous
But I want
generation.
to try it
There
because
there's a difference in the models that the 225 I believe is has the auto pressure on it, and I think that's going to be required to use the rotary cutter. The previous models won't. I'm guessing that's going to be the cutoff. If
all
you're
I
at
know
home.
is you got to have a DX. So
Okay.
you need to get at least a rotary blade
Yes.
in, or I'm going to
But
have
my
to go
other
shopping.
question, since you're
Well,
answering-
I'm not done. There's
Is-
more.
Is the wireless compatibility that's in the machine, the Luminaire, is
The-
that compatible with the older scanning cuts?
No.
Okay, that's the question.
You
I
have to get the newest scanning cut to talk to your
Okay, that
Luminaire
was the other-
wirelessly. But here's what else they did.
So if you're watching, Victoria, I hope that answers your question.
Here's what else they did. Get this. You used to, even when you did the UBS, you had to, USB.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about that bear again. You used to.
Well, that's a bank in Scotland,
You used
isn't
to
it?
have to move it. I don't know. You used to have to move it to your scanning cut and then like up it a couple points because the size wasn't quite right. Do you remember that?
Mhm.
You had to go to your scanning cut and go, I'm going to increase the size of my square 2 clicks in order for it to work. Not anymore.
Okay.
Not anymore. You wirelessly take it out of your Luminaire to the new scanning cut, and it's supposed to be the perfect size.
Oh, good. Victoria was watching.
Yay!
She
Yay!
had all these questions that I was supposed to get over the weekend, and I was waiting to hear back from my brother guy,
So
which
I-
never got to me.
are
But
you getting-
Becky knew it all.
Are you getting them
Yeah,
in or
yeah.
not?
Yes.
You get one?
I
I
will
want
do
a
it, yes.
demo. I
Well,
want to
I
put
will.
one through the paces. You know me.
Yeah.
I got to put something through the paces before I
yeah,
put the seal
well-
on it. But I'm excited about it.
We'll do a
And-
special demo.
And it takes a lot to get me excited.
Yeah,
you
I
know.
understand.
No, it doesn't.
I'm old. It takes a lot. Ask my husband. It takes a lot.
What we've
Oh,
got
no. Shut it up.
failure to communicate.
See what I travel with?
I don't know.
I don't know. I want to know what that was.
The toothbrush.
I knew that was
Oh, okay. So after that rant about the scanning cut,
Well,
I
I'm
just-
excited.
I just want to put
you
out
know?
there that within, like I said, price increase is coming in September 13th. So if you are September 13th, I might think September 5th. I have the wrong note here. But anyway, coming in September, the prices are going to increase. So if you are interested in a new machine,
You should get a Luminaire
yeah,
because it will talk to the
and
new
I'm-
scanning card.
and I'm even saying, if you're looking at the new scanning cut, I don't know if they're going to up the price on the new. They might even up the price on the new stuff. I don't know the extent of the increase that they've got coming out. I would think they've already baked that into the new pricing, but I don't know. So if you're interested in anything brother related, I do know that a price increase is coming in September. The other thing I just want to say real quick while we're on shop news
To
is
get that out.
yes, is the NQ13, the NQ1300, the kind of entry level embroidery machine that I recommend.
You should be bringing up graphics so you know
Oh,
what
I
you're
know,
talking
but I
about.
don't. But anyway,
Well,
that machine.
no.
Yeah, I've got two of them on the floor. They discontinued that model in favor of the NQ1700, I think. So the 1600E, that's what I got. The NQ1600E that I've got two of them on the floor. If you're interested in one, because they're discontinued, that means you're going to get some good pricing on it because, well, they're old now. So if you don't have an embroidery machine,
I hate technology.
if you don't have an embroidery machine or you're thinking you need one for a friend, stop on in and we've got a couple, like I said, they're still in the box. I have debated opening them up to use for the classroom, but those are available because we do have to replace them with the new ones. So that's out there. So like I said, if you are looking at a machine, you want to buy sooner than later. That's all I have left for shop news.
Well, that's a lot of goodies. Well, we have a couple things here.
Oh, yeah, we could.
Yeah, Brenda wanted to make sure
Oh, I didn't like, this should have been part of shop news too.
well,
Okay.
we got two coming about fill in the blanks.
Well, yeah.
We got the woof woof.
Becky, your granddaughter's watching this, so you know.
Hi, Missy!
Good call.
Yeah, I heard that Adriana's going to put out a hit on me because of the graphics
She
that you
is.
put
She
up.
was not happy with
Okay.
you. She's coming on soon, right, A? Okay, so these little woof woof things.
So fill in the blank is coming up
kitty size.
on
Thank you. Kitty size.
September 2nd and September 4th.
Yeah, and then this is September's, right?
Yeah, this is September's.
So is this gone by? Did we already
Well,
know
this
that-
was shipping late. This was supposed
Right,
to be
this
this
is-
month. So I don't know, we're going to offer one or the other. If I
we
start
have
offering
to
both.
fit, we have to fit this one in.
Yes.
We have to fit this one in.
But these are the fill in the blanks that are currently being
This is so
offered.
cute. This is using, I love this because it uses their new little velvet. This is a velveteen.
Oh, is that why that felt so nice and
Yeah,
special?
yeah, it's velvet.
It's nice to touch.
So all of these goodies with that $10 kit, you come in.
Yes,
That's
now,
what she
yeah,
said.
come in and do the class if you want to
Yeah,
do this, because you
that-
are getting a deal
This
for
is
$10.
the deal.
Yeah.
This is a deal,
We-
people.
We priced it out, and it's like, well, we'll do the class for $10, and so if you
Yeah.
come in and do the kit, you're gonna have
That's
everything to
fun.
do this.
That's really fun.
Look
Wow.
at that, Adriana's talking smack on there.
You will be replaced soon.
You know
Don't
who
worry.
she's taking
Be
after.
replaced.
Okay, so these are really cute.
Yes.
That's adorable.
Yeah, so fill in the blank is the first
We can
Saturday.
change reindeer petting zoo to squash, squash, squash.
Squash,
Squash,
squash.
squash. Hot cocoa. Huh. I don't know.
That's gonna say margarita.
Margaritaville. Yeah.
No, what's the one?
And then we have, this is new that came in. Everybody's talking about the candy corn.
Yep.
The candy corn quilt is in. Bada bing, bada boom. And the embellishment pack is here.
Yay! And those are all available on our website. If you're interested, buy it
Those
now.
are cute. Cute, cute, cute. You know what I love more than the quilt?
It's the pumpkins.
Yes, the bonus.
I said the same
The-
Everybody
thing.
said
The bonus is
pumpkins.
almost worth buying just to get the
The
bonus.
little pink.
Almost worth buying. Oh, you don't really need
Well, I
it.
meant just to get the little pumpkins. Aren't they the cutest? And look, they show them stacked up. Nope, wrong.
Yeah, I know, he's got you.
Stacked up. They show them stacked up too. I think those are adorable. And the door hangers, not so much. But the pumpkins I love. I don't know, but I hate stuffing stuff, so I don't know. So that's cute. The other thing that's new is the collage pillows are in, and we're going to talk more about the collage pillows
And
tonight,
what to go with
'cause
that, today we just got in the pillow forms and some of the blanks for them, so,
Yeah, we got the rectangle pillow forms.
yep.
We got a nice navy blue rectangle pillow. Yeah, that's really
Yeah.
cute.
And if you're interested,
See,
pick them up
show the
quick,
bear,
because we're
see?
already half out of the pillow forms in the,
That's really cute. Here we go. See it? There. Whoop, yep, yep,
See?
I got it. Good. Isn't that cute? And that's using their collage technique. But Brenda did it without the collage technique. Keep in mind the collage technique can go either way. Solid fabric or collage. I'm
I thought you
gonna
were gonna
show-
say it could either go good or bad.
No, no, it's a
Okay.
lot of fun actually. And then we have this beautiful color. This is a square one. 18 by
Yes,
18.
18 by 18 is the.
So lots of,
Lots of fun
oh
stuff.
my God, I just noticed the little ghost buttons. Oh, look at people. The embellishment kit is worth
Sometimes I
getting
think
the
I'm easily
ghost
distracted,
buttons.
but
Look at that.
It's so weird.
Those are so adorable. Welcome to Prettier. What does that say? Prettiest?
Welcome, my pretty. Wizard of
Pretties. Oh,
Oz?
welcome, my pretties.
Wizard of Oz.
I gotta put those glasses on. Okay, anyway, lots of Kimberbell stuff happening in the shop. I love it.
Well, it's because
Also
we're on, just so anybody watching, we're on Kimberbell's auto ship. So anytime something Kimberbell's coming out, we end up with it.
I want to know if we're gonna do the event, 2-day event for
Oh, well, we gotta
Halloween.
plan those out, yes.
Yeah,
But,
we're
so
gonna
if
talk
you're
about
interested in
that.
Kimberbell, we're on the auto ship. So if you ever see something like, oh, Kimberbell's coming out with this, we will have it. So if you're interested in something you know is coming out, just give us a heads up and I'll save one for you when it comes in. Just throwing that out there.
Some cool stuff.
Because because I
Fun
don't stand,
stuff.
I'm awful, I don't stand top, but I just order stuff. And people come in, are you getting it? I don't know. If it's Kimberbell, yes, we're getting it because we're on auto ship. That's my answer.
Quiz time!
Yay!
Because Brett didn't have it last week.
That's right, I didn't, because I know how much,
So,
I know how much you enjoy it.
I had literally a page and a half of notes for quiz time
From last week?
from last week.
Did I have that much info?
Yeah, you did. You did. There was a lot of info. Almost too much info.
I spent all day with show. I actually did show prep for last week.
Wow, there was a lot. I mean, I took notes. Because I'm like, oh my God. So I might have 2 questions because you didn't give anything away last week.
That's
Is that
fine, that
okay?
works, yeah.
But they're going to be 2 separate quizzes, okay? One is serious because you had some serious information.
Yes, we were very
and one
serious.
is not serious, all right? Easy one. Easy question number 1. One question based on last week's show. What color?
Don't blurt it.
Don't blur it. What color shirt did Brent have on?
Oh my God, I don't know.
What camera am I on?
Well, that's a good question.
What color shirt? Do we have any music?
Because I only really
Where's
own
my
4
music
shirts.
yet?
What?
Dun, dun,
You're
dun,
doing
dun.
it twice?
I don't get to hear my music. Oh,
Danny's got moves. She was like dancing the other day.
What?
Your whatever that
Oh, I
was.
was so excited.
what color
No,
shirt did Brent have on? They're all Googling. They're all looking at last week's shoot.
I don't remember.
Do,
I don't
do, 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 do. This is my easy one. Do, 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 do. Oh.
I have like only 4 shirts.
What color shirt did Brent have on last week? No. Close, Carolyn. Close.
remember.
Do you even remember?
It's one of 2 shirts because I remember thinking to myself, I remember thinking to myself, I think I wore that one last week.
Oh, I don't.
Do you think it was the maroon one? Maybe on YouTube it looked a different color.
It looked maroon to me. Do you have a reddish maroon shirt?
Yeah, I do. That's one I didn't put on today because I'm like, I think I wear this one all the time for the show.
Okay, well, dark gray, Jolene.
See, you're all
See, that maybe this is different based on people's computers.
Well, what color did you have?
I saw black.
I don't have a black shirt.
Yeah.
So we'll
Okay,
get.
here we go. Oh, there it is.
That's,
So
that-
what color is
that's
that?
my blue one.
Oh, see, that was
Yeah,
purple on
that's
this
a
screen.
blue.
Wow. Good thing I have more questions. Okay. Huh.
So I guess because Carolyn and Jolene both chimed in.
No, maroon is closer.
Well, we can give them both.
I thought you had like
I
a
had
page
another
full of questions.
question.
Well, that's fine.
Just do
That's
like
good. That's all
Ben,
good.
Brent doesn't know. He doesn't. He doesn't know.
Well, I only see what happens is I found these shirts on Amazon. They fit well and I like the way they look. So I'm like,
So you
I'm
buy
just
them
going to
in
get
all
all
different
4 colors
colors,
that they
right?
make. So I have
right.
this in 4 different colors.
Okay, so they could get because colors on computers.
Yes,
I'm
and that goes
not
back
do
to
colors again,
what we
'cause
were
it-
talking about
yeah,
yesterday
yes.
with color, with digital printing.
Yes, yes.
All
it
right,
does.
so we're gonna do
All
a
right.
GC for both Carolyn and Jolene.
Woo!
Woo-wee!
Good job. All right,
Put it
now
on their account.
I'm gonna-
quiz number 2.
Oh, this ought to be good.
You know this one. You know this one. You know this one. You know this one. You know this
sound
one.
like
I
Oprah.
know you know
You
this
sound
one.
like Oprah giving away a
Hey,
car.
you
A car
get
for
a
you. A
GC.
car for
You
you.
get a GC.
What fabric manufacturer did Brett say is now 100% digital? Bum, 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 bum. Give me some music, girlfriend. Bum, 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 bum. What fabric manufacturer according to Brent, 100% digital. Do you know Brent? All right. Stopped. All right. You're welcome, Carolyn.
We should start a fabric
What?
company called Thank You.
What manufacturer? Well, I was going to talk about the bankrupt, almost bankrupt one, but I decided that was not cool.
The almost bankrupt one?
Yeah, the one that got bought because they kept reprinting everything. Blah, blah, blah. See, I watch you. Okay, so what manufacturer? Really, peeps?
I know. I mean, I can guess.
He said it more than once, too. Lynn, do you know?
It's all printed in China.
Can I say?
Yes!
QT.
Quilted Treasures!
Yes.
I'm gonna do it! You didn't type it in, though.
Oh, it's fine.
So the first
Doesn't
person,
type it in.
so we're gonna wait for somebody to type it in?
Quilted Treasures!
One of the 3 people that watch us?
Quilted Treasures, yes indeed.
Yes.
Yes indeed. So $10 GC to Dennis.
Daddy boy.
She just got a raise. Put it on, put it on.
Thank you.
Ba-dum. All right, that was quiz time.
Okay, so
That's fun.
So I have my handy dandy agenda. And that
Yeah.
means that we're now going to Quilt of the Week.
Ta-da! Do we have music for that?
We have, what do you want? You want to try a drum roll?
Okay, is that? Ooh.
So
That looks like a modern log cabin.
it's basically a log cabin. There's a theme with my Quilt of the Weeks whenever I get them, honestly. Is when you bring them in to give me a good story, I'm like, yeah, okay. And usually the story is, I've had this quilt for 10 years and I'm finally getting it quilted. But that's something that Penny brought in, and I don't know that she actually ever finishes projects except bags. So I was very excited
That's
with,
me.
and she does beautiful work, but that's something she's had in her closet, I think she said for about 10 years now, and she finally decided that
Oh.
it was time to get it quilted.
That's very pretty.
And so it's really nice. And I always find these old quilts fascinating because you start looking at them, I recognize some of the fabric, and I'm like, yeah, that's an old quilt. But it's basically a real simple log cabin, it's just laid out differently. You know,
Yeah.
and it's one of the things I love about log cabins is the fact that depending how you put those blocks together is the different patterns you get. But the colors are really pretty.
She's got Jesus crosses in it.
Those aren't really Jesus crosses.
Well, no, but there's my Jesus is different than your Jesus.
Little Baby Jesus. You ever watch that Top Gear episode when they go to
I
Jerusalem?
got a story.
Baby Jesus.
I know Jesus loves me. I know he loves me.
Are we going to get a hallelujah?
Hallelujah!
You know we just lost half of our...
I know. I'm going to check in for my little getaway last week. Me, my 2 grandkids, and my daughter-in-law. And all that's available is a studio. And I'm like, and my daughter-in-law really wants to stay at this place. So she's like, come on, we can stay in the studio. And I'm thinking, oh.
I couldn't.
I'm like, well, we'll stay in the studio, but the next night I'm going to ask if there's another studio because this Graham wants her own room. Right? The little crowd.
Graham wants, Graham gets.
That's right.
Well, dun da da!
The heavens parted and...
The heavens parted, she goes to check in, and guess what's just become available?
The honeymoon suite.
The penthouse suite. 3 bedrooms, this thing was 2,200 square feet.
That's like bigger than some houses.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
bigger than my daughter-in-law's house.
Oh,
I'm
my
not
goodness.
kidding. I had the grandest room. Everybody had their own room, their own bathroom, this huge balcony, looking over the mountains, looking down on the swimming pool. Yeah. Last minute cancellation, right when we're ready to check in.
Nice.
And that doesn't happen unless Jesus loves you.
Okay.
Their pool was heated. Their pool was heated warmer than mine.
Nice.
Yeah, so, okay, anyway.
So those
That's
of you
Jesus.
doubting the...
Yeah. Yeah, a little right.
Next week on 700 Club, we'll be discussing...
That's true.
All right, you want to do
All right.
turbo tip?
We did Quilt of the Week. Turbo tip, yes.
You really need to notes on, she's crossing them off like this. Okay, now it's done.
Because
Don't
we're all
you-
over the map.
Oh, okay, Danny's yelling at me already.
Because there was like things I almost would have forgotten in shop
You're
news
doing good.
because of the rant on.
You're doing good.
Yeah.
Don't you listen to
Okay,
her.
don't listen to me, don't listen to me, they
Of course I
say.
listen to Becky.
Excuse me, will you bid me? I'll pick a different drawer next time.
Well, I normally further over, but because
Oh,
of the
I
camera.
did, actually, I tried to put it in here. No, where did I put my glue pen, Brent?
Your glue pen?
Yeah, you know, I got a little trick to show you. Oh, they're over here, excuse my back. All right, you know, I'm still working on half-square triangles. Cannot get away from half-square triangles. Huh. And in all honesty, it's probably one of the most used items
yeah.
in a quilt because they really are cool and they do cool things.
And they're easy to make
Now,
too.
I still have my favorite method, which we already talked about, triangulations. That's
I prefer the easy angle for all you lazy quilters out there.
That's because these fingers don't stand up.
We're getting nothing done here tonight.
No,
It
okay.
wasn't on the right camera.
So now this is going to be crazy, but I saw many years ago on Missouri Star where she was making a quilt with nothing but half-square triangles, and she took a charm pack, which is what, a 5-inch square.
Francine likes your dress, and I have to agree with her.
Oh, thank you.
I'm
You know
sorry,
what? I
that-
wish it was
See how
inside.
easy you
I wish you
are?
could wear it inside out because look at the lining on this puppy. I almost like the lining better than the dress. The whole interior is this. Isn't that the
It
cutest?
is cute.
I thought maybe if we could put a reversible zipper in it. Yeah, I was like, yeah. I don't know if my pockets are. Yeah, see, look at the pockets. Is that cute?
We're all over the place.
See, I like the.
I didn't know dresses had pockets.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Are they
do.
real pockets though? Because you know, like
Oh yeah, I got my mic
Because I
in this
didn't
one.
realize that like some
Oh,
women's
this is a
pants
real pocket.
have pockets that don't have bottoms in them.
Look at this. You could
Yeah.
put a cell phone in that puppy.
Wow.
I know. You know why we have pockets in our dresses? It helps hide our tummies.
Oh.
We can do this.
I thought it was to put all your poetry in. Is it? What was the one?
Yeah. Okay. So she showed how to make them with a 5-inch square, and whatever size that was the size that you were using for the whole quilt. Now, in my hunting and pecking, I said, hey, this is a way to make 4 of the same half-square triangles, like this. See how they're all the same?
Yeah.
Okay, with a square. Now,
And you're gonna tell me you did the math to figure out the size squares?
I'm going to tell you how I figured it out.
Okay.
There is math, but it was like 7.07. Blah, blah, blah. I wanted 4-inch finished squares. These are 4 inches.
4 inches.
So
Finished.
what you're going to do,
So those were 4-inch.
I'm going to explain how the math works. in a
4-inch
minute.
finished squares or
Yeah.
3.5-inch?
No, these are 4 inches right here.
So
This
the-
is 4 inches. I'm
So that's
sorry.
a 4-inch square.
Yeah, it's
4-inch
4
rough,
Rough.
3.5-inch finish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh, let the dogs out.
So, here's 2 pieces of fabric that they're both the same size.
I'm gonna go a little higher up over here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Look, we can do like hand things.
Okay, 2 pieces of fabric. I have cut them, right now they're 7 inches square. And I'll explain how I came up with that in a minute, because I want to show you how I came up with it.
Okay.
It's easier to show you. Now, what I like to do, see, this little glue, I'm just going to dab it in the corners here for you, Brent. This does not get heat set. That's Soline's glue. I'm sure
Yeah.
everybody's seen that.
Right.
What it's going to allow us to do.
I actually think I have that on the shelf.
Yes,
so.
well, I like it for this a lot. I like it for other things too. In fact, we use this in our paper piecing class.
Okay.
That just helps us not have to pin and it doesn't move around. And I don't
I
have
have
the
an
heat
allergy to
seal.
pins, so I can
Right.
appreciate that.
See this? What I want you to do is sew a 1/4 inch all the way around. Now you can pivot if you want, or you can just go straight down, turn, straight down, turn. I don't care if you pivot or you don't pivot.
Well, since I'm on a luminaire and I'll turn the pivot on, 'cause,
Do you know there's a pivot mark on the foot too? So if you don't have a luminaire, the 1/4 inch foot has a mark that shows you when you're 1/4
Did
inch
you want to
away
be on this
from
one, Eddie? Because I think that one should be set up.
So you're gonna just zip around that lickety-split.
Okay.
Lickety-split.
Okay, fine, I'll stop messing around with cameras. Lickety split.
Lickety split it.
Lickety split. Like lickety split Brent style or lickety split Becky style?
Lickety split.
Well, my style is not gonna be 1/4 inch then.
No, I want you to try and be quarter inch.
I
The quarter
Give a
inch
guide.
Yeah, but quarter, I've oversized them. You could, so, you know, as long as you're straight, we're okay. But you have a guide, for heaven's sakes. You go fast. I don't ever sew that fast, like ever.
Speaking of fast, I got a new scooter last week.
Oh, my Lord, I saw that. How many scooters you gonna do? You're gonna open a scooter shop?
No, I gotta get rid of some. I have 3. But you see, I have 3 because I want people to come riding with me, but nobody ever does. They're like, that's stupid. Why do I want a scooter? I'm like, because you haven't ridden one yet.
Oh, so you're getting them so they will ride with you?
Yeah, but Sarah wants nothing to do with it. Oh my gosh, you got me talking. That is awful.
What did you just do?
I
Not
just screwed that up
1/4
back.
You got a foot on there, and you still.
I know,
Maybe going too
because you were talking to me and it like got me all excited about scooting.
So you can see how this is going to make 4, just like this, when you're done. So if you don't need zillions of them, you need 4.
But what's also nice if you do 4, you can do things like pinwheels and other things.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't press these all open because I wanted to show you.
But I have a question.
Go for it, girl.
If you do it this way, then aren't you going to have to sew in the bias?
Yes, that is the minus of this. Maybe it's a minus.
Okay, well, sometimes it depends on the pattern, right? Like-
Right.
Want to
Well,
switch cameras, Eddie?
to be honest with you, because I
you.
know I'm going to have bias, I prepped my material. So
But
now-
don't you always prep your material anyway?
Yeah.
I mean, you're using you're
Well-
throwing the bias as an excuse, but we know you would have done it
so,
anyway.
So these are beautiful
Yeah.
anyway. It's not really an issue because I prepped it.
Okay.
But sometimes you want to be on the bias depending on the pattern. Like if you're doing stripes and you're trying to line up this stripe to a block stripe and you want them to all go in the same direction, you got to go on the bias. So it's not like you should say bias.
That's-
No bias. Don't feel that way.
And just as a kind of a thing, though, you talk about using stripes. There's a lot of people that don't like stripes. In fact, we don't
Oh.
order a lot of stripes.
I'm telling you, you need to order more stripes.
But the-
they are fun
Stripes are interesting, but the problem is from a sales standpoint, a lot of people don't like stripes.
because they don't know how to work with them.
I'm just saying,
Well, you need to teach
we'll
them.
get some stripes, okay?
Okay, so now I'm slicing from corner to corner. Oops. I'm slicing from corner to corner, Brent. Okay? Now, I should have brought my rotating cutting mat because what you want to do is not move them. And I moved them a little bit. That's okay because they're oversized. Now, let's say you are making your own design. You don't care what size they are. As long as you use the same size rectangle, square, over and over again, all your triangles are going to be the same size. So if you're like, oh, I don't care if they're exactly 4 or 3, whatever, just be consistent with these squares and all your half square triangles will be the same size, which means you don't have to fuss at cutting down. Right?
And if you do happen to move them and you don't go corner to corner, there is a 45-degree mark on most rulers that you
There
can.
is, but I'm just eyeballing it because it's not going to
Oh, I'm
matter.
just saying, if they get moved, you can do
Well, I'm
45.
going to show you how I came up with the size of the square using a 45.
Uh-oh, Eddie's got COVID, we're all gonna die.
We got 4
I probably
rectangles.
gave it to
Did you
them,
see
so
this?
we're fine.
Do you see this?
We have to put like a plague flag on the door of the store.
I see it, Becky, I see it.
It's
Do you
gorgeous.
see this? I'm not kidding. Even Brent made it.
Gorgeous.
Look at Brent. Now these are
Brent,
all
you made that!
these are all the same size. So if you were making your own quilt and this is the size you wanted, you're done. These are absolutely all the same
Okay,
size.
Francine has a great question.
See that?
Do you use best press in your fat? No, we use vodka.
I use different. I do use some best press. Okay, I do use
I
best
had to
press,
just put that out there.
but I do use vodka. I do.
We said it, but yes, usually some sort of starch, vodka, best press.
And I like the
Well, the
cheap
vodka, that's a, what, 2-to-1 ratio?
2 to 1, but I like it 4 to 1 because if I get thirsty, it tastes better.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's stiffer, and I like it stiffer.
That's what she said.
And I also like, I'm going to call it Viagra. It's not Viagra. Niagara.
Niagara. Well, it does make it stiffer.
But
She said.
Brent, these are now all the same size. So
Even with my awful
look at
quarter-inch seam.
I'm telling you, perfection.
Wow.
Look at that. Look at that. Brent Ferlin made these.
But are you going to trim them down now?
If I wanted them to be 4 inches, I would then trim them down because of the math involved.
But if you were lazy like me, I'd just
If
go with
you're
it.
making your own little thing, who cares? You just do it however you want to do it. All right. How did I come up with the math?
Brought to you by, well, Faultless.
Without-
They changed the name on it from Faultless
Oh,
to
it isn't
Niagara.
even Niagara, Viagra.
It's the same one now, but they changed it to Faultless maybe because people were making that mistake about the Niagara making things stiffer.
Maybe they
And
thought
so,
you were ordering
and so
that and got the
Did
bill.
they really?
I don't know. Maybe there was some sort of copyright infringement.
Okay, all right, now I want to show you quickly if you are picky about your size of your triangles, because of course I am, because I'm making
Aren't we all?
I'm making a certain pattern, but if you're just playing around and making your own thing, look at how fast and easy that is. It's wonderful. And truthfully, you could put these together like if you were making like one of these things here, and later you wanted to cut it down, you could cut it down too, but when you sew them together, they're all the same size.
They look great.
They're perfect. I mean, look at this. And you can play. Oh my gosh.
Yes, Francine,
Play.
for real, vodka, and it's cheap at the liquor store, so
$6.99 for what? 2-gallon bottle.
mix
Look
it
at
with
that.
water.
Look at it's perfect. I can't get over it. I really can't.
I think it's fantastic.
Okay, but let's say, here, how did I come up with 7 inches square? Think about how we cut that, okay? I told you I wanted 4 inches when I was
Yes.
done. This is 4 inches,
Yeah.
and this is 4 inches, because when I open it up,
Yeah.
it's on, right? This is 4 and this is 4.
Yeah.
And I want to get 2 of them across the way.
Yeah.
So 4 plus 4 is,
8.
and then I have to add a 1/4 inch and a 1/4 inch, so that's adding a 1/2 inch, so that's
8 and a
8 and a
half.
half on the diagonal. Now I could get out my geometry calculator and go a squared plus b squared equals c squared.
Thanks to Mr.
but-
Pythagoras.
But hail to the no, because I got a 45-degree ruler. Can I say hello? Oh, no, I just did.
Well, you said shit earlier, so
Oh,
I
I
think
did.
we. So I think
Those
we,
damn bears. They got me all excited, those damn bears.
I hope Adriana's not watching now.
If
You gotta
I
put your
take-
earmuffs on.
She's used to it. If I take a ruler and I put it on my 45-degree line, and I go down 8.5 inches, look what it does. It tells me, well, it's a little, can you see what I'm doing, Eddie? Yeah, I'm coming out, we just figured I needed a
8 and a half.
8.5 this way to make my perfect triangle, right? Well, if I only come down, whoops, wait a minute, those are those 1/2 inch markers that always get me. Let me get to the ones. Okay, let's go here. If I come down 8.5, I'm a little bit more than the 7. I got this rule upside down again. Why do I always do that? Doesn't matter. It's a little bit more than the 7. And if you figure out the geometry fit, the whole thing, at 7.07 on the calculator.
Okay.
Well, I'm not cutting something at
0.07?
7.07. Right. So I easily could have used 7.5. It was more than fine.
And then you could just trim it down and
Yep.
stick to your fork.
Or that's the size they're going
Yeah, but
to be.
if you did oversize it a little bit, it gives you that.
It gives you
yeah.
the ability to trim it exactly
Yeah.
what you want. So
Okay.
that's how I know how big to make my square.
That is amazing.
Twice the size of your half square triangle plus 1/2 inch.
Nice.
That's a lot easier than a squared
Yeah.
plus b squared plus c squared.
I don't know. A squared plus b squared plus c squared is way more fun.
Okay, well anyway, that's my, how to
So you
make-
ever sit in like a meeting with my mom? It's really kind of funny. Because she'll like factor math equations and it's hysterical.
Because she's a math teacher.
Yeah, but if you look over, like if she's like figuratively writing, like she's taking notes, and it's like AY over CX times, and she's got like, you know, a page of notes to do a, it's really kind of funny. It always made me laugh, and I had no idea what she was doing, but it looked really cool.
Right, Francine? Oh my God. I don't know even what you're saying, oh my God. but I
Vodka.
like it.
Vodka.
Your
Oh, vodka. It is $6.99, and it's not the only thing I use though. But I'll tell you, if I'm doing a flattening of the seam,
Yeah.
I don't.
So,
It's just boom, it's done.
okay, I think we're just gonna, we're kind of running out of time today.
I told
Because you
you.
guys have been crazy.
Well, we had to make up for last week. So I'm gonna do the workbench real quick. How
Okay. I'm
how deep?
perfect.
Well, how deep into this do we want to go? I can scoop the workbench if you got a lot there.
I told you more than enough, that's me.
Well, I know, I'm just saying, because it's like 6:45. I wasn't sure how late we were going.
Well, we're not gonna have to go late. I wanna give them a tip on this.
Okay, so so the workbench that we're gonna do today, I didn't have any good tech stuff, but me and Eddie have been fighting, well, mostly Eddie. I look over his shoulder and point at it and tell him what to do. What? That one?
You can look at me.
I'll make love to the camera. So we've been fighting with the serger all week because it was out of time. Yeah, it's been a disaster. We almost have it. But it brings up a point that I run into a lot, and this is kind of gets away from the actual machine tech. But a lot of times people come in and say, I want a serger. And my tip of the week is, do you really need a serger?
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah, sometimes yes. But I have a lot of people that are quilting and they think, I need a serger because all their friends say you need a serger, or you go online, you need a serger.
For quilting?
I don't know. People just like, I want a serger. And then I ask them, what are you going to use it for? I don't know. I was just told they need a serger. And I would say sergers, I'm not saying sergers are bad, but keep in mind sergers are a one-trick pony. They do one thing and they do it well. They finish the edges. That's all they do.
Pillows.
Pillows, yes.
Yeah, anytime you want to have a finished edge, actually a serger cuts
it, yep.
Cuts it and finishes off at the same time.
Yes, and you can, there's actually stitches on your machine that will finish the edge similar to a serger. It's
But
not
it
going to cut
doesn't cut it.
It's not going to cut it. But what I'm saying is
And they take forever.
it's a
on
very
the machine.
specific one-trick pony. So unless you're going to spend over $2,000 and up on a serger, you got to really get into the fancy sergers. Serger technology hasn't changed in the last 20 years. And my recommendation, this is what I always tell people when they come in
Like
looking
this
for a
is
serger.
surged.
Yes, that's surged. But you're gonna put a seam around that and finish it anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not as important as people make it sound. But what I was trying to get
If
at,
you're doing a bathing suit, you really need a serger.
yeah, for some materials. I'm not saying you don't need a serger.
Knits.
That's what I'm saying. So you've got a very specific time when you need it. So think about that when you say, I want to go buy a serger. What are you going to use it for? Because what you're going to find, and this is my tip I give everybody, because like I said, serger technology hasn't changed in the last 20 years for the most part. If you get into the big fancy one, yeah, whatever the baby lock monster is awesome. And if you really want a serger, that's the way to go. But you can find sergers used because people have them in their basement and then put them online all the time. And the technology hasn't changed enough. For the 2 times a year you're going to use it, pick it up for $50 on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist.
I used it a lot when I was making masks because it cuts and finishes the edges. But my bummer was you always had to have 4 cones all the same color.
Yeah, and
You can't, you know.
and that's
a
the
bummer.
and
You had
honestly,
to
what
full
you're going to
cones all the
find, the
same
reason
color.
that a lot of people don't use their sergers as much as they should, or they could, is that unless you spend the ungodly amounts on a serger, they're a pain in the butt to thread, and then to troubleshoot and get running properly, there's a huge learning curve to it. So unless you're using it a lot, it's not a machine you just sit down and go with. And so what you're going to find is if you get a serger, you're probably not going to use it nearly as much as you think you will.
Well, if you're making clothes, you probably will.
But you've got to be using it a lot. It's not like a weekend warrior type thing because of like I said, there's a learning curve and a certain level of expertise. So my tip for tonight is just like really think about it if you're going to get a serger
If
because
you're making anything knit, a serger.
Oh, yeah,
If you're working
yeah.
with
Okay, but
knits, a serger. And I've seen somebody, and like you said earlier, I probably would go,
Yeah.
no way, actually use it to put the binding on the first
Oh, yeah, I've-
time so that their quilt cuts nice and tidy while they're applying the binding for the
And that would
They do it right on the serger.
and no way because I'd be so worried about going off to the and just
Yeah, chopping it
yeah.
off.
But I'm just saying one of the things to consider is if you are thinking of a serger, ask yourself what you're going to do with it because keep in mind, like I said, unless you're going to be using it enough that you're comfortable with the threading and comfortable with the troubleshooting of it, you're going to find that you're going to buy it, it's going to stay in a box, and then you're going to bring it into me in about 3 years' time when you realize you've never used it and ask me if I can sell it for you or if I'll take it and trade on a machine. I get used sergers through here in fact, I got one right now. Somebody's looking for a serger. We have used sergers all the time. I very rarely sell them new because, like I said, I'm not going to, brother sergers aren't anything to write home about. They get the job done, but like I said, technology really hasn't changed. If you're going to spend money, get a Juki or get a baby lock.
I think I got mine because I was making lots of costumes.
Yeah.
so I was working with.
Yeah, and so you had a very specific thing that you were using it for.
Amazing,
Yeah, you're using it, and it's very
amazing.
specific what you need it for. And then when you get out of those projects, now, are you going to go home and sit down and fight with your serger to do something that you could probably get away with a simple stitch on your machine with?
Mostly I'm just doing quilting now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is really evaluate what you're going to use it for, because it's a one-trick pony. If you're not going to use it what it's intended for, it's one of those tools that's just going to collect a lot of dust.
What's
And
it
that's
intended for?
what's that?
Surgery.
Finishing edges. Yeah.
Doing
So
this.
basically pillowcases, that's about it.
If you unless you're gonna do a lot of
Knits,
clothing, it makes sense.
anything
Yeah.
with knits,
If you're doing a lot of
anything with
clothing,
knits,
it might
it's a
it makes
must.
sense to get one. But like I said, it's the era of
Okay.
making clothes at home is, it's cheaper to buy it.
Well, it's personal though.
Yeah, but it's also cheaper to go pick it up at the thrift store and then customize it. That's way more fun.
Okay, I'm going to switch subjects.
Anyway, so that was my not much of a tech tip, but just keep that in mind when you're out picking on something like a serger. Make sure that you know its intended use, because it's not necessarily must have given what you plan on doing
We'll
with it.
shorten this up quite a bit.
Okay.
This is a project that came in the new Bella box, but it's also the same projects that are on the CD that I tucked back
Yeah,
there,
somewhere back
Collage
there. Okay.
Pillows. So they introduced the concept in the Bella box, and then they came out with a new CD. And I want to show how they have you do it, and then I want to give you an idea on how you might consider doing it.
Is this going back to embroidery?
We're pretty short on time, so we'll probably just talk about it.
Okay, then I won't.
Sorry.
I won't put the foot on.
Here's what they do, okay? 'Cause I actually kept it in my hoop and everything in case you wanted to go in. This particular item has two different pieces to it. It has a flower, and it has two leaves, actually three, and then some words. What I did is I did the leaves their way, so I can explain it to you, and then I'm going to show you how I would prefer to do the flowers. While this is in the sewing machine, or embroidery machine, the first thing it does, there's no topper on it at all, is it gives you the outline stitches for where your leaves are going to be. Now the Collage Technique, it's really kind of cool, has you take and back your fabrics with a double-sided sticky. Like you could use Misty Fuse, or you could use Seam to Seam Light, or there's many projects out there.
Decabond?
No,
Not Decabond.
light, Pelon.
Wonder Under.
Yeah, make sure it's a light mold, sewable one. Holy moly. So then you stick all these things, and then you basically, like for the leaves, you take a bunch of greens, and you just cut them out every which way. They want you to make sure they have soft angles and curves, so that when it's done, and you just place all your stuff down here, it kind of looks natural. If you end up with a sharp edge, though, it's real easy, just take it outside, because you're going to end up having to trim this. The reason there's topper on it, as you can imagine, you can't press this on here. You lay all these little pieces down, and then you're supposed to take it to your machine and sew them. Well, they're not going to stay in place. And you can't effectively tape them. So you take a piece of water-soluble topping, and you put that over all your little pieces, and put it on the machine, and then it tacks it down. Then after this part, you remove this.
I could have sewn it. We all set up.
No. The sewing is the next step.
Oh, you
I
already
wanted to
sewn
show.
it?
No.
Well, you did, because you have all your little things
Well,
here.
what
is
you
I'm
have to
saying.
do though, after you, I went through my tape. After you get this stuff off, you then take your scissors and you trim it.
Yeah, like regular applique.
Right. See, and if I had adhered this down, I wouldn't be able to
That'd be
trim
a
it.
mess.
You can't get it up again. You can't.
That's what she said.
You can't trim it.
You can't get it up again, even if you have some Niagara?
No, you can't. It's on there for good. So, see how these pop up because they haven't been ironed down yet?
Yeah.
See? See that? I can't iron them down until I trim off all this extra stuff. Does that make sense so far?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, are you kidding me? No, there's a better way. Plus, the way I'm going to show you, this all of a sudden becomes useful for any applique for those people who do not have embroidery machines, but who love to do applique, and they, sew around with their blanket stitches or whatnot.
I did that once, and I'm like, I don't
Oh,
like
I love applique.
I don't like applique
I
anymore.
absolutely love applique. So this technique brings this,
And I'm gonna date myself. The one I did it on, it was the Bear Paw Table Runner from Thimbleberries.
okay, so this technique of creating
Before my
this
time.
stuff is going to work for any applique project. I am not
Okay.
going to need an embroidery machine.
How am I supposed to sell embroidery machines if you're not gonna
Well,
teach them how to
if
use
I
it?
have an embroidery machine, I'm still going to do it this way.
And if you come by an
I-
NQ 1600E, you
I
can do
picked
this.
out printed out the patent for free within Brilliance.
Okay.
Okay, this is a Teflon sheet, a well-loved Teflon sheet. It's going over my patent. I don't know if on camera you can see the flower underneath it. Can you see it?
A little bit.
Okay, I can see it fine and dandy. If you're having trouble seeing it, you could use a light table too to go up through it. But you can see it, right, Brett?
Yes, and you can see it from the camera as well.
Okay, good. So now imagine.
We, senora. Se
Now
puede
imagine
verlo.
I'm just building my fabric for my flower right here. And we won't have time to do the whole thing, but I want to show you some of it. Scissors, Becky, what'd you do with your scissors? I brought
Will
two
those
pairs,
work?
so you can trim some up too.
Oh, I'm just gonna cut weird things?
Yeah, now, a tip I have is don't try and cut this whole thing. Like, I know I want little pieces, so I hack it up square first.
It does, and you're saying no
And then-
sharp angles?
You don't really want any sharp angles. You just want to make them all like every which way. This is the fun part. This is the Adriana part. Then you're going to take the paper off, hopefully. That's the worst part for me. And you're going to build your flower out here. And I'm just going to make sure my edges go over my petals. Now, that's a sharp, very sharp angle.
Well, that's because that was the edge.
Well, that's, I can't have that.
Okay.
So what you do is, it's kind of, you know what, I really liked this. I gotta be honest with you. I thought at first I was gonna be like, what? And then when you start playing, I'm thinking, especially if you're doing flowers and stuff, it's really a lot of fun. And it makes it very different. Okay, we'll do a few more, then I'm gonna show you. Why are you people laughing?
None of your business.
It's probably not appropriate for young people.
That's what she said.
Okay, let's put a few more and then I'm going to show you the magic, because I know we're getting late. Now, the beauty of this,
So you're just putting it on the paper over where the lines are at? Am I
yeah, I'm
understanding that?
making sure it's big enough that it's going to cover my petal. my flower.
I'm seeing where you're going with this. This is kind of interesting. And then you're just gonna iron it, and the Teflon keeps it from sticking to the Teflon.
But sticks my pieces together. So now when I go to my machine, I'm not using any topping. I'm not using any tape. Whoops.
So you would just use
And you're supposed to wait till it cools. So I'm picking it off hot. I'm not supposed to do that.
picking it off hot.
I'm picking it
That's
off.
what she said.
But now look what I got. I got a pice of fabric instead of.
Is Wendell home tonight? Okay.
I got a piece of fabric instead of 3,000 little pieces of fabric.
Yes.
So when it then on
I'm
your,
seeing it, yeah.
when it then does this
The placement.
placement stitch, I'm now putting one piece down,
Yeah,
just like it's one piece of fabric.
yeah, and then you would just trim it out and call it good.
Yep. Now, if I'm doing it without my embroidery machine, I also magically could use wax paper, put this on my wax paper, and trim out my entire flower.
Oh, I like that idea.
Oh, yeah.
See, I do the Teflon, but that's pretty cool too.
Yeah. Well, I'd still stick it together with the
Right.
Teflon. I'd still make my,
Oh, you
I'm
make-
making my fabric. I'm basically making my,
Yeah.
Guess it.
I don't know, you really have to look though.
it's a snail. It's a snail.
Yeah.
That's what I see, a little snail in a shell. It's a flower. Okay, but can you see, you're basically making your own fabric.
Yeah.
The sky's the limits now. Think about how many projects you can
That's kinda
take
cool, yeah.
this concept to. How many people make trees, right? An elaborate applique thing. I
Well, you
just
could
was
make like
like,
your own, you could make like a really simple applique design and really make it cool with just making the fabric in the
that
middle.
bag that I keep forgetting to bring the patent in for Lynn, if I had known how to do this, I would have done that on that bag. Instead of just doing plain flowers, I would have made them really cool. Yeah. So anyway, make your fabric before you go to the machine, and then you don't need topper, and then you don't need,
And that was one of the timber bell box designs.
this is a Bello Box design. It's very pretty, but the whole CD of collages tells you to put them all down on here, and then put topper on.
So
them.
you could, if you're gonna use the same kind of colors and fabrics in the collage, you could just make a giant piece
You can.
and then just kind of cut it, put it on there, cut it out. and then-
Basically, I'm
Okay.
telling you, make your fabric. Make your own fabric, then go for
Then
it.
after the placement stitch, throw
Yeah.
that on, tacked it down, trims it, yeah.
And
okay.
it's so much easier than doing it on this little,
Well, then-
yeah. I did the leaves the way they told me, and I'm telling you. Now I still have to trim them before I can even stick them down. Look at
And then you gotta hit them with an iron, and then if you have like polyester batting in there, it's gonna flatten it and ruin it.
right? See how, see that, I like this so much better. And I could have cut my leaves out completely. You know, I could
You
have.
could make this,
Could have made my
and then
leaves
put
on
it
wax
through
paper.
your cutter, and then it would be already pre-cut for you.
Actually, you could put this through the cutter quite easily. The cutter
Yep.
would do this too. Yeah.
We just complicated it beyond,
No, but the theory is build
Yeah.
it here and then use it
As a
there.
fabric, yeah,
It's so
makes
much
sense.
more
They
fun.
will come.
Yeah, it's so much more fun, frankly.
Actually,
But-
the code to
okay,
build
so
it
that
is
was
more
that.
fun.
So all you Kimberbell lovers, but all you applique lovers.
Yeah, that's actually
this
really-
is
that's
a cool
really neat.
trick for applique.
any applique, yeah.
period.
I like it.
I like it a lot.
So hopefully I'll get something out of that. It took us a long time to get there tonight, but we made it. Thank you all for joining us this evening and sticking with us through our shenanigans, as it were.
You're too tall. I can't do
I got
it.
some sun this week. Went on the whale watch. We saw dolphins.
You got sun?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. See, I'm red. See, I turned red in the sun.
Oh, see, 'cause
We thought you were blushing. Yeah, no. I think she was.
Anyway, so thank you all for watching, joining us again for another exciting evening with Shenanigans with Brett and Becky. Please tune again next Thursday to join us in the ever exciting and expanding world of fabric and quilting. Thank you and good night.